Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. It is September 2nd, as this video is going up. This is day 4 of Archero. I told you guys I'm going to upload daily to make sure I knock out these worlds. And I told you guys in the last video that there is some new changes. A couple new changes on the startup screen. If you've been playing this game, you'll notice there's like Gorilla Studio, I guess, is partnering with them. There's, of course, Hero mode and normal mode. We'll be making a video on that too. I'll tell you what's the changes and like what's some of the strategies so you can, do well in that. And then of course, there's addition of hero. So now we actually know who our hero is. His name is Atreus. And yeah, there's multiple heroes for us to play around with who have different stats. And I have not purchased them, and I have, like I said in previous videos, in my very first video, which was a bit longer, I talked about how I want to obviously support the developers, but I have not bought gems except for the like per level. There's like the little package deal. I have bought that. I will admit to that, and that's like mainly been my purchases, is just buying those little things so I could grind a little bit faster. In the myriad amounts of time I put in this game where I've amassed this gear. So then, of course, I used the gems that you get out of those packages to be able to purchase Obsidian Chest, which has netted the gear that I have. But I'm a sucker for wanting to know how good these characters are, because I have been stuck on Chapter 7 for way too long, and so I think I'm actually going to probably just buy those characters. And I'll probably do that. And then we'll test out and see which is the better character. They have higher stats. What's really cool about them, unlike Atreus, is they come with built-in skills. And they look like a little bit different. Like, that's a different icon than the regular Poison. And that's a different icon than the Blaze. And it's a different icon than the Thunder. If maybe that they're just trying to make this unique. But Onir looks the most interesting because he has light. Now, that is something that is not even a skill that's available in the game, at least not at level 7, which I'm at the 7th dungeon. Like, there's no light skill, so I'm really curious to know what that looks like. But yeah, anyway, let's actually get into this video. I want to try and keep this short. This will probably be longer since this is one of the longer levels, but this is Crystal Mines. I'm going to honestly tell you guys right here, right now, that I want to transition to more and just like having conversation with you guys, because by this point, if you've made it to level 4, I think you have a grasp on the skills. You obviously can maneuver and dodge, and so there shouldn't be too much talking that needs to be done on how you need to be a better player. We just need to go over some of the new enemy types so we can explain how you actually succeed in beating those enemies down, because we do have new enemies in this chapter, and the bosses, of course, are unique, and the final boss is a real, like, just for real. Yeah, so anyway, without further ado, we're gonna do videos on the hero mode. We're gonna do videos on the new heroes, but let's just dive right into it. Okay, we're starting off multi-shot for sure. What's great about if you watched the video series this far, you don't need my explanation of why I'm picking some of the skills I am. We can just jump right into it. Okay, so first room. Shit. There we go. I need to be able to talk over these sound effects that are extremely loud. So that's one of the new enemy types. We have the little ghouly goblins. They shoot a fireball. It's pretty targeted, so just make sure that you're always aware of the area so that you don't get hit with those. Now you have mummies. They're kind of taking the place of snakes. They hop around the map, and they're generally nuisances. So as long as you are moving around, you should have no problem. Then we had the red ghoul that shoots fireball, a red ghost or whatever. Use cover to your advantage, and you should be fine. But you can see, like, they actually try and actively target you. Now in the next level, is it next level? Yeah, there's gonna be another one of those ghouls that are even more difficult, but we'll get to that when we get to that video. But yeah, there's mummies over there. We've leveled up again. So I've already talked about why I don't take the circle, so we're gonna go with HP boost. That is what I'm gonna pick. Oh, I'm so glad this came on camera. I actually got this in the video when I was just trying to grind out the ad videos, so that I don't have to cut into the video. But we got the Angel, HP boost. Now, this is new. So I watch an ad, and I get an attack of plus 105. What I do not know, because it does not show up like when you get a power-up, is if this is a permanent boost or if this is a only for this world boost. I think it must be only for this world boost since I'm seeing this master again. Because that would just be really overpowered if I can just like play these dungeons and then get 105 attack boost again and again. But I don't know. If anyone knows, please leave a comment below. And while you're doing that, why don't you smash the like button, because I need the YouTube algorithm to bless me and my channel so that more people can know about the joy of Archero. And subscribe while you're at it too. You know, I'd really appreciate a subscription or two. It'd be nice to know that I actually have an audience who gives a about my videos. So yeah, that's kind of what I have to say about that. But I actually will watch the ad for this one. I'll cut this out. So I'll see you in a second. Oh, ad's not ready. Well, never mind. I guess I'm not getting it's not like I'm not connected to the internet. That's weird. Okay, whatever. We won't take that boost. It's probably because I'm recording. I don't know. Anyway, now you have these enemies. They're kind of like the snakes. They move around above ground. They don't burrow into ground, and they aim directly for you. And they spit in a bit of a triangle, I would say, but it's 3 bullets every time. They shouldn't prove too much trouble, though. So, we've leveled up again, okay? Out of this, I'm going to take Shield Guard. It's always good because the final boss shoots a lot of projectiles, and it helps to have that little coverage. So, we're coming up now on the first boss. And it's random which one it's going to be. Okay, it's a giant Dooku who shoots out the 3 balls. Okay, because there's different kinds of Dookus, giant Dookus. So this one, I don't know if they do the... I don't think he does. Okay, so, yeah, he just jumps around. He'll shoot out a clockwise... Okay, he does do the rapid fire volley. Alright, so rapid fire volley, stay towards the back. You can be able to... okay, we got a projectile for free. I'm not going to watch the ads. I'll get that later when I'm ad grinding. Okay, so real quick strategy. Stay towards the back so that you can see an opening in his projectile volley. There always is an opening. Sometimes it's really tight. You just got to be really good on those controls. He shoots out 3 volleys of the big projectile ball things. I don't know what they are. They bounce off the wall a couple times, so just be aware of that, and you should be able to avoid it. Just, you know, trial and error on that to notice, like, what directions they go in. And then when he jumps, he shoots out, like, a clockwise volley. So just, like, stay away from him while he's jumping. Make sure you're moving constantly, and you shouldn't have a problem with that. We have a new enemy in this room, which is the Sorcerer type. They wander around the room. They try and kind of hide behind cover, it seems like, in my playthroughs. They have a move where there's a giant fireball over your head. Stay out of the circle, and it's no problem. So, just reiterating why you shouldn't stand in one place. See? They kind of go behind cover. We got mummies in this room. No problem. They do jump over obstacles, so just be aware of that. So that you might have to reposition yourself. So, let me see here. Took some damage. No big deal. This is going by faster than I thought. Hopefully I can get attack boost minor because we're at practically full health. Hopefully I can get this video down below 20 minutes. That's my goal. I don't like having those really long videos for you guys. HP boost. Okay, we had a new enemy in this room. I think you were able to tell. It's one of those ring monsters. It looks like a ring to me. It shoots out a slow beating projectile. So just making sure you're aware of your surroundings so that you can maneuver out when you have like the sorcerer putting down the circles on the ground, and you should be fine. We're almost at 10,000 health. I am not about to buy no gems to buy scrolls, especially since I can't upgrade my boomerang anyway. It's a waste. I'll just keep grinding until I can get a 3rd purple boomerang so I can upgrade to epic. Wolves, I believe, are also new to this level. So these wolves, they're kind of like snakes. They'll rush you, and not these snakes, the green snakes. They'll kind of rush you, and then they'll just like turn on their turbo mode, is the best way I can call it, where they just kind of like do a tackle. So they don't do the tackle unless they come close to you and see you in their line of sight. So as long as you're kind of moving around the map, which you should always be doing, you shouldn't be staying in one spot too long, you should have no problem with them. Okay, now we have the Summoner boss. And real quick, I did choose the diagonal arrows as a power-up because more damage output, and it can hit more enemies in the room. So his moveset is... so for those fireballs, he's kind of tricking you. You shouldn't be moving around too much. If you stand still whenever he shoots out the fireballs, it will always miss. He has 5 summoned fireballs that fall down a lot quicker. So just stay out of the way and you'll have no problem with that, not watching the ads. And then he has the homing missiles. So there, if you noticed, my pattern is that you let them come to you a little bit and that creates an opening where you can slide into the left or the right. And then you should be able to avoid it every single time. The only time that you wouldn't avoid it is if then he follows up with the quick fireball blast, which, again, because you're moving, you're going to usually get hit with that. Because that move is avoidable if you're just standing still. It's one of the few moves that you want to be standing still to avoid, which seems counterproductive to this game. So, Holy Touch creates so much screen clutter. I'm going to go with Strong Heart, so it will just heal me up a little bit better. Okay. I think I'm going to level up again on this stage. No, I'll be leveling up in the next stage, probably. Okay. I want to share a quick story with you guys. I wanted, and I alluded to this, I wanted this to not just be walkthrough and breakthrough of me just breaking down every room. I want this to be a conversation. I want this to be a little bit fun so that you can, see, just obviously observe and get better by potentially seeing like a play style of like how I'm always staying moving and how I avoid the projectiles, just through trial, through experience. And then with me not having to constantly talk to you, I'm going with Invincibility Star. It's always good to have some good defense, and side arrows, I've already quoted, are one of the worst picks. But I shouldn't have to go over all my moves now at this point if you made it this far. And so I want to actually chat with you guys. You guys can observe my moves and see how I'm avoiding the enemies to get better yourself. So there's one quick story I wanted to share with you guys. This happened about a couple months ago. This was before I went and I traveled. And so we got an angel. We're going to go with minor. I'm at full health. Is that my sister was walking down the street, right? Now, I can't even make this up. I wish I could be making this up. And I wish I was there, but I just heard from her, and knowing the city that I live in and how crazy this city is, this is a story that it just makes sense that it would happen in my city. She was walking past a Rite Aid, CVS, I don't really know, Walgreens, one of those kind of stores. And you know how those kind of stores usually have potted plants outside? Well, there was this gentleman, homeless, who decided to, while she was walking, just drop his pants. And I'm not making it up. And normally, especially when you're, it's late at night and someone's dropping your pants and you're a woman, walk faster. But this man dropped his pants and down to the boxers, down around his ankles, sat in the potted plant and began to defecate. Took a real big fat No joke. No lie. And that could only happen in my city. So I just want to share that fun little bit with you guys. Now, anyway, maybe there'll be more stories like that. Okay, now we're on to the third boss. It's going by quick. You got a rock golem. He shoots out boulders that split into 4. It's even hard for me to avoid. It's really tricky, but it always arcs in a 4 like that. So just kind of, if you can let him shoot those boulders close to the walls, you should be able to avoid it. Then he spins around while shooting rocks at you. That's his moveset. So the trickiest thing is avoiding the boulders. The 3 boulders are split into 4 little small boulders. You can avoid that. You should have no problems with him. Keep it agile. Keep moving. No problems. Not one of the hardest bosses. The last boss of the stage is definitely really hard. And, when you're playing, obviously, the 50 level stretch, and when you're playing this level, you don't have quite as much health as me, or this gear. So you're going to be pretty drained and you're going to be low on health. And well, there's a surprise at the end that I'll let you guys see that is different than every other stage that we've played before. But the rock golem is not one of the harder bosses, but the last boss is. And so when you get to that stage, I died a lot before I actually finally was able to beat him. Okay, so we got a lot going on in this room. Use the cover. It's all about cover in this game, because it can really help keep you alive when there's a lot of enemies on screen. You need to clear up that clutter. So don't be afraid of using the obstacles as a cover so you can live. Now, the mummies to me are more of a threat in a room like this because they jump around. So I go for them to eliminate first because these projectile balls are quite easy to avoid, in my opinion. Maybe I've been playing the game too long. Okay, remember, Boomerang has piercing shot built in, so there's no reason to ever get that. Rear arrow, not really doing much good, but it's better than poison arrow because at least it's a projectile. So in this case, we're going to go rear arrow. Alright, we are on stage 35. We're going to go with attack boost minor. Because I'm mostly at full enough health, I should be fine. And there is a treasure chest in 4 levels, and I don't anticipate I'm going to be taking that much damage where I won't be able to get a full heal out of that treasure chest. So lots of wolves, they're going to trying to ram into you. Keep your distance, same thing with the bats, move around. And these stages should not be a problem for you. Remember, use your cover, and it's no problem. I'm trying to think if I can share another quick story before the next boss. One's not coming to mind. Okay, so the next boss, it has to be this, because it's always in a random order. Next boss is a giant one of these fire ghosts. So just a heads up on that. Okay, we're on the 39th room. Things are going by quickly. Eliminate the ghosts first. The ghost first. The red fireball ghosts, because they actually home target you. Okay, I'm at more or less full health, so good enough for the boss. Like I said, it's a giant fire ghost. He shoots out these fireballs. It's kind of related to like the summoner's fireballs. You can see it coming, and so you should be able to avoid it. Then he does the fireballs in the back of the room. He gives you like 2 seconds to avoid it. You shouldn't have a problem avoiding these fireballs because it's plain front and center and easy to avoid. Then he does these fireballs in the room. You never know which direction they're going to go in. That's kind of annoying. So I really have no advice on that. It's kind of luck of the draw. Sometimes they'll slam into you before you have a chance to recognize. Sometimes they all go up. Sometimes they go down. It's really random. So just like if you're not staying too still, if you're moving around in the back of the room, you should be able to avoid them. And that's why shield helps, because it can sometimes absorb them. Okay, again, through wall, one of the useless abilities. Really, truly. It would be not that bad and worth grabbing if, and only if, when you were in the wall, your projectiles could shoot through the wall and enemies couldn't hit you. But that's not the case. Your arrows can't go through the wall. Only you can walk through the wall. And sometimes their projectiles can still hit you through the wall. So it's kind of a waste. Alright, we're at the max level. So I seem to always be getting smart these days, at least in these videos, when I'm at max level. So one of the most useless things. We're going to go with freeze, because bolt circle requires I get close. And I've already talked again at length of why I don't do the circles, unless there's literally nothing else but the circles or something like that. I think that's going to do it for all of the enemy types in this world, except for the final boss. So I would like to, at this point, probably share a story, but I honestly can't think of a story. I should have came prepared with more stories. So what I'd like for you guys to do is, if you're really enjoying this video, to remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And to click like on this video and share this video with your friends, because I want more people to understand the joy that is Archero and know that I got their back and I got your back, so that we can delve into this game together and become better. And so we can explore the world, and so I can help you guys with these walkthroughs, especially as I complete the later worlds, on what's the winning strategies to avoid these enemies. You saw there was a lot going on in that room. Remember, be agile on this keyboard. You got no problem. So I'm actually gonna take the heal. Why? I guess I'll spoil the surprise. Because on the 49th level, what's different about this stage and moving on, it's kind of seems to be with the program of how it goes from this dungeon on, at least with these regular levels, not like the boss rush mode that's dungeon 7 or with the battle royale kind of levels that we had in dungeon 3, because there is another one of those. That's Cave of Bones. Yeah, it's Cave of Bones, which will be dungeon 6, so we'll obviously be going over a walkthrough on that one. Is that there's no more treasure chest on the 49th level. There's no more heal for you to take on the final boss. And so that's definitely also what makes taking down this boss hard when you're at this level and at this gear level. And what took me the longest is because even if I played really well, not taking too much damage, when I got to the 49th level, like I am now, there's no treasure chest, see? There's no treasure chest. So for me to get that heal before taking on the final boss, no luck. You gotta kind of have to hope that one of these guys, as you're taking them out, is kind enough to leave you a heart. And I was not kind enough. So imagine if I didn't take that heal, I would be 2,000 health less, which is kind of a little risky. So now this guy, unique enemy, so far I've never seen him again in the game. He throws these wild fireballs, and he'll do a rush, kind of like the wolves. So move around the room. It's kind of hard to avoid the pattern that is his fireballs. I don't really... Is he going to do the rush? There he is. That's the rush. And when he does the rush, he shoots out fireballs on the side. So distance is key. He'll shoot out this stream of fireballs, this volley. Don't get close. Or else you're going to take a lot of damage. But the fireballs are very wispy, and it's unlike any other fireballs you've ever seen in the game. So you don't want to stay in one spot because he will rush you. Or I can't even predict how to do these fireballs. But he's dead. I'm not going to die. We made it through. Alright. So, and he didn't even drop any scrolls. What a cheap ass. Anyway, enough with that. That concludes Crystal Mines, aka Dungeon 4. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it was fast. And I will see you guys tomorrow, September 3rd, for Dungeon 5. Bye. Oh, don't forget, subscribe. See ya.